If you feel like your life have no control and you don't like college, you don't like schools, you don't like jobs, you don't like any of these things, you don't like money, but you're still kind of stuck in a life, and you might also not like scrolling Instagram or any addiction which you're having, and you want to become a better person deep down, but you're struggling with it, you don't know how to do it. Well, this video is for you, okay? Because I'm going to discuss the idea of like freedom in parallel to the idea of master slave. Now, I want you to write down on a piece of paper who is your master. Now, just think about it. Now, when I say master, I mean someone you ultimately obey, or like it's not someone like who have one influence on you. It's not like you believe in God and He is your master, because you really have to you have to be purist. You have to be like, okay, I'm going to follow this authority, and I can question it, but eventually I will do it like whatever this authority will tell me to do. And if I fail, I will get punished or I will apologize for it. Now, I'm going to give you some, examples of it. Like, for example, Levi said that this man is gazing at up something which I can't even say. Fine, I will follow you, Erwin Smith. So Levi understood like he does not have the knowledge about the word, and Erwin Smith have. So he decided to spend his whole life just following Erwin, and it makes sense for him. Now a lot of scouts also followed Erwin. Like you, if you have watched Attack on Titan, like people literally just died in war because of Erwin. Erwin just instructed them. So just like this, like Tibetan community follow His Holiness Dalai Lama, which is like one person. So if Dalai Lama say that do not eat breakfast from tomorrow, Tibetan community will going to stop. So now this is authority, okay? Now, for example, like citizens of North Korea believe that North Korean leader is the ultimate master. Okay, like if Kim Jong give any instruction, people are going to follow. Similarly, you can think of God. Like there are a lot of people who follow Christ or like Allah, Islam, or like Hindu gods. And similarly, like I follow Buddhism. Okay, I follow like Buddha. Not I don't like saying Buddhism, but I'm okay, whatever. So I like one culture like American natives, they follow their ancestor wisdoms, and whatever their ancestors was into, everyone just follow that thing. There are a lot of people I know who follow their parents, like if even if they are not willing to do something, but if parent, like if their father or mother asks them to do something, they will eventually do it. Okay. Now I want you to now think about freedom. So when I say freedom, I mean like mostly the American values of freedom. So for example, when you if you listen to any pro-American, you often listen these words from a lot of liberals, let's say, that the idea of individuality, free thinking, democracy, and there are more actually, rationality. So obviously, like if you're following a master slave system, most likely it's hard to have your own individuality. Okay, and there is no free thinking, like because you don't think for yourself, most likely someone else is making decisions for you, and you need some sort of democracy. Well, but let's not go there. Now I want you to again think about this model of freedom, because it have influenced globally really big, like almost all of you and all the countries almost follows these base values. Okay, and this is like one virus which is everywhere. Now, let's just not call it like American model. Let's call it like a like modern world. Let's say. Now, I want you to think for a second. Like, just be a little bit sinister about it and think for a second. Like, is modern freedom is truly freedom, or is it just different form of control? Now, we all know America is one of the most powerful nation. The country have enormous wealth, and people have generated a lot of money, and there is there is a peace. Okay, like there is no wars going on these days. I mean, there are actually a lot, but let's ignore that. So But people like in their personal life, like the elites don't want to have wars because wars cost a lot of money. Eventually it happened, but it cost a lot of money. What they want is they want you to just be free. And if you think about it, you are truly free. Let's just ignore these facts like for example, there is a constitution, laws and everything. There are a lot of control which you have over your like thinking and your like whatever you want to do in your life. Okay. But this model is actually really interesting because US have won the world with this model. Okay. Elites have won the world with this model because they actually they make you believe that you are a free person, but then they secretly just program you into a system. Okay. So you go to a school and think about what you learn in it. You learn about like how to compete with your fellow peers, how to like there are a lot of conditioning which happen. Okay, like what kind of values you inherit, what kind of person you become, and what kind of thinking you have. You are not a person, you are a programmed tool. If you think about it, this is the truth. You don't really, the kind of values you have reflects me the American values. Okay. So the lifestyles you have, the economic conditions, social comparison, there are a lot of things which I might discuss. So these days, if you go to anyone, we all believe that we need money to be happy. We all think of social status. Okay, just think about it, like how you're free if you're thinking constantly like what others will think of me. How you're free if you're always like comparing like material comfort, comparing it with other people, and you're like if I get one car, if I get like more luxury, somehow I'm better. Like where you internalize these values. Okay, so why you think about like only if I get like better job I can, live a good life? Why there's no alternative? Why you are so much into this mainstream living? Okay, forget that. Why even if you don't really want to end up scrolling social media or internet? Why is that? You're a free person. You should be able to have, like whatever you truly want to do, you should be able to do it. But you are still struggling with assignments, or even if okay, this college isn't teaching me anything, you're still going into that college, or you're doing some worthless job which is not actually creating any value, but you are still doing it. So there is a sense like you are a free person. You don't know who is your master. You are not able to write it, but you're not completely free. So what is this hidden structure? Okay, so you feel free, but your desires are shaped, okay, like the kind of things you want. Now I know a lot of you might say, okay, I'm a free person, I truly want to play games all the day, I truly want to like listen to this podcast, I truly want like the blah 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 these things. Okay, I truly want to watch the next season of Stranger Things. But the kind of desires, the wants which you have, all right, is coming from something. So the thing about elites is they don't care if you choose to wear purple or black. They don't care if you choose to like if even if you want to change your gender, they are completely okay with it. They're like, do whatever madness you want to do. They don't care. Okay, just destroy yourself, destroy your life, like just do any bullshit with your life. If you have interest in computers, arts, if you have interest in a particular field, they don't care. Just follow your passion, just follow it. Okay, but you have to end up on some job or a system. Okay, like, oh, you need money. Why you need money? Because you have to get this car, you have to pay these bills, you have to, there's a very, it's a very long, I will say, like you're not able to live outside the system. Okay, you're a programmed being who cannot really survive outside the system. You don't have those skills, you don't have that nature in you. You don't, like, if I tried, okay, there are like some friends of mine, I'm like, okay, let's go with me to this off-grid place where I lived near Arunachal Pradesh. Just come with me, it's a primitive life. Okay, and after going there, their first reaction was, I cannot live like this forever. Like I can spend some time here, but the life is so tough. Well, why your body cannot eat raw vegetables? Why you need such, you know, KFC or any high taste? Okay, why you are ending up in such, stupid way of living? Okay, like why you're soy boy, let's say. So now the thing is, this all this consumption, everything, okay, it's kind of like a distraction. There's this illusion that you're free, but there is still some hidden structure which is at play. Okay. And this is where I feel like America is a genius country. Like elites are genius. Okay. Entire world, we think like we are free people, but we often end up working for elites. Okay. Look at the wealth gap. Just look at it. Look at how rich these people are. They often talk about economic growth. We all need like happiness is equal to economic growth. And what we do, we work for the economy. We consume. We constantly try to raise the GDP. Okay, we often get this idea we have to do it for the nation. But eventually, what happened? Where all this wealth goes? Where all this money goes? Like who become? We create technologies, we advance science, we create a lot of application of technology, but who is the one who actually get access to it, who actually get benefit of it? Okay, why it is not equally getting distributed? Okay, why workers are not hearts of society? Well, think about it. Okay, why I don't have control over my life? Now let's talk about master slave structure again. Okay, when some American NPC see any collective society, he have this person, this programmed being can never understand a collective society. Okay, because he always think about his lens. Okay, he always think about his individuality lens. So I had this discussion with my brother. Okay, so he's all like okay, patient zero of Reddit, like NPC. So the thing is like, they think, oh, this is so bad, like I can't live in such lifestyle, all right, like this is so bad, like I can't get brainwashed, I can't just follow one man my whole life, this is like we can't do it. Okay, but if you truly think about it, okay, the person who is living in a collective society does not think like you. He thinks like his goal is to serve his community. He thinks like, so he actually, if so you cannot live like a slave. Okay, but a slave is actually quite happy there. Okay, people who used to live under a monarchy years ago, they actually used to love their king and they were living happily. Now, I'm not saying like all master slavery is good. Okay, I'm not saying I'm not promoting like slavery or something. I'm just making you think that, if you just drop your perspective for a second, you will learn these things. Because I have lived in such areas which are like off grid, and I used to meet such NPCs, and they often, when they listen, oh, you follow like His Holiness Dalai Lama. So they often used to have this smirk smile, and they used to think, okay, this guy is an idiot. Okay, like he's just like having a faith or something. And they constantly attack religions, they always rationalize stuff, they always, try to prove that, okay, these systems all are bad because people are brainwashed. Now, I want you to think like, see, this person, this NPC, this American, like you, okay, if you are someone like who is like this, well, these, if someone is truly into freedom, he should support diversity. Okay, he should support diversity. But the thing about all these rational free people, especially America, okay, America have done so many wars. America have literally destroyed so many nations. Whenever someone freely choose, like if I choose like socialism, if I say I need one government which control demand and supply, suddenly these people are going to, okay, this is attack against freedom. Okay, this is literally attack against freedom. So they just kill that diversity. Okay, like if I introduce you with a society system, like if I show you, like for example, one really good example, Tibetan community, okay, they follow the Dalai Lama, they follow Buddha. Now, anyone like who have this freedom mindset can never understand it. He's like, oh, this is wrong actually, or like there is no free thinking there. If when they see kids being monk, when they see kids living in like monasteries, they're like, oh, this is so wrong. Okay, so even though you guys talk about freedom, whenever you see diversity, you kill it. You're like, there is this monolithic culture which is getting spread in this world. And if you look at the world, so that's what elites want. They're like, you can choose between McDonald or Burger King, but you cannot choose outside freedom. You cannot choose any authority. You cannot choose any kind of, like, even a religion. They try to attack a lot. Okay, so freedom is just a tool for, if you look at your life, just think about it for a second. You are your entire life, you're just getting prepared to just be a tool for elites. Okay, just work, just give away all your life for elites. And no matter how much you try to avoid it, you can just save this video, watch it again in future, and your life every day, you won't live for yourself, you will live for elites. Okay, and look at the wealth gap, and just think about, does it make sense to fight with your friends over some job title, over some good grades? Does it make sense to have competition among people? Like, if you truly want money, for example, okay, like elites have so much amount of money, they are controlling everything. Okay, and even if you just try to live independently, just try to do it for a second, and you will see like how much this system is forcing you to just stay in the system. The kind of mindset, if you just try to think that I'm not going to, you know I'm going to live like an homeless. Okay, I'm not going to worry about money. I'm just going to drop all my expenses. I'm not going to be dependent on any such products. Okay, and see how hard it will be for you, because you are a program being. You cannot really do it. Okay, you cannot really think that happiness can be found outside money. If someone throw money at you, if someone throw good amount on you, you're always going to be a slave for him. Okay, now let's think about like master slave model once again. Okay, now I'm not saying like slavery cannot be bad. Like, people, you can have a master who can actually do things to you just for his own, like any agenda. Okay, but there are a lot of people who follow some guided wisdom. For example, Native Americans, they follow their ancestor. And if you study the tradition, first, this tradition worked for their families, generation after generation. Second is this wisdom actually makes a lot sense. It helps you. So one I can talk about is the path of Buddha. Okay, so in Buddhism, they try to explain you the nature of mind. And after following the path of Buddha, after reading Mula Madhyamika, I understood that, okay, I started to see my body and my mind as a third person. And I never have to think, just to, like, the moment I studied like Mool Madhyamika, I just abandoned all social media. I just abandoned all the bad habits. Okay, at least I tried my best. And today when I look at myself, I really feel good. Like, I don't have any Instagram, I don't have any youtube.com, Instagram, nothing, all are blocked. Okay, no social media. I don't work in some job, and I live my life the way I want to live. In fact, the simplicity I achieve, like, I literally don't use Android. I don't even use smartphone. Okay, like, I go outside without any phone, and many people are like, this is madness or something. No, this is I feel good about it. Okay, now the thing is that even the moment my thoughts arise. Okay, so Buddhists are actually, they went too deep into freedom concept. Let's just, you can actually pick and read other traditions, but the thing is, all this wisdom is not something you study in formal education. I'm not saying just go follow some religion or something. You can even see North Koreans. Okay, like, just see an average North Korean student and see how disciplined he is. Even though he's living under authority, he's not free. You can see them smiling, happy. They're not addicted. They are more control of their life than you. Okay, their daily personal life. Now, let's talk about like parents, for example. Many people say, oh, my parents are like stupid. Well, this is true. Most of like most of the parents are just human beings, and they can be stupid, but biologically parents want good for the child. So if you choose your parents to be, like, for example, your master, okay, now I'm not saying like make your parents your master, but you can actually think about it, like, why traditions always teach you to follow your parents, because parents are like more mature people, they have more experience of life, and biologically they want good for you. They don't want you to be happy, but they will do what they think is good for you, okay? So maybe you're happy doing some self harm, but that's not what they will promote. Your friends will say do it, but they won't say. So I'm not, okay, I'm not saying like just follow your parents, but what I'm saying is one kind of master, like this is still a better master than mainstream system, or because no elite really want you to live a good life, okay, but your parents actually do. So now my final thought here is that there is no such thing as free will, and you really have to create one master for yourself. In if you don't make anyone, and if you choose to be one individual, you're really easy to get targeted. Now, I lived among many Tibetan people in off-grid regions. They are all, you can say, brainwashed. They just they just pray to some rocks and stones and Buddha, like some concepts, let's say. But these wisdoms actually makes them a lot free, and this is something which was getting reflected in their personality. Like when I was living with them, I lived in a lot of cities, and the kind of thought process, like first time in my life I have seen people who were thinking beyond money, okay. I met people who I cannot buy with money, and there were people there like who can reject working for someone else, who were rejecting technology, like the kind of personalities which I was looking there. They used to really value their culture, their people in the village, and then I understood, I am a programmed person. Okay. We are all like, there is no such thing as free thinking, and the values which we carry. Okay. The kind of school, colleges, formal education have destroyed your brain. Okay. You're just a tool for elites. That's it. And if you truly want to live for yourself, you really have to, get out of the system. Okay. Like this true freedom, I believe I am more free than you, because when I see this tribe, Adi tribe in Northeast, and these people kill animals because it's their tradition. They do it like hunting as a sports. Okay. Now, despite the fact this doesn't align with my life value, like I won't do it, I'm still not going to go to them and say that don't do it because this is wrong. These rational motherfuckers, they they talk about freedom, free thinking, everything. But the moment they see someone doing something which they think is wrong, they always present some different views, or they try to teach them, they try to educate them. Oh, look, your economy is weak. You guys are poor. You have to, maybe your kids need some more education. Look, so it doesn't matter if your science is telling that how much calories someone should take. If you truly believe in freedom, you should let others live. This is one thing which US people or the whole country can never understand. They are just going to drop bombs on every country who are just living differently. That's why I have more respect for China. Look at China, okay? The US always say that you cannot have economic growth if you don't follow our model, okay, like democracy or something. But look at China. They have done it. They have done it really well. Look at Japan. Look, I don't know Japan, but like Russia, there are a lot of countries who don't try to program people as much as US, who don't try to control some narrative. There are some videos I can put in the description which can actually show you the other side of North Korea. Like there is a psyop. You're living in a psyop. Like every person really thinks that thinks same. Okay, like for example, North Korea is a really huge psyop. Like, this is one good example which can teach you that what psyop looks like. Everyone, no matter how hard I try, thinks that North Korea is like a disastrous country. It's like bad, all right, like this dictator is bad or something. But that's not what reality is. You really have to understand humans, the kind of these things are super complex. You really have to give your life to it in order to fully understand. But in your personal life, if you want control, just create a master. Just get like read more, get some wisdom, just have some faith. Faith is really good, and then choose the master. Don't make one person a master, make a whole philosophy a master, but have faith in you. This is how things work. I have humility now. I don't carry ego. I don't carry ego in my rational thought process. I don't carry so I follow Buddha because I believe in the wisdom. The moment I read Mula Madhyamika, I don't try to just get out of lust. I don't try to get out of like scrolling addiction. When I fall in love in my life, okay, I change. I changed so much. I did a lot of nasty things, okay? I clinged, I cried, and everyone was telling me that, you were never this kind of person. What happened to you? Like, I cannot believe this is you. And I was at my worst. I was like, man, this thing, like, I cannot live now, okay? And I had like horrible time. But then I understood that, this inconsistency in nature, okay? Like my impulse is like I'm an impulse driven being, and I'm showing highly inconsistent behavior. And if you follow some master, if you follow some authority, you can never show such inconsistent behavior. You understood the wisdom. You just, even if you have some vice, some kind of addiction, you know this is wrong. Because you trust an authority which is actually good for you, which actually wants you to be more free, independent person. So this is something, you all your kids needs to understand, and you need to deprogram yourself first. And this is why there is this movie. What is that movie? I forgot the name, but there was this line like self improvement is masturbation. You need self destruction. I might make a video about this thing, that how desperately you need a self destruction. Okay. Fight Club was the movie. And the reason he said this is because there are a lot of ideologies, a lot of the kind of thinking, a lot of habits, a lot of, the whole personality needs to first get completely destructed, and then from the ashes you just, be a better person. And this is not so hard. If you can follow Buddha, if you don't know anyone, like just read Mula Madhyamika, just read Nagarjuna, just read like just drop just rational thoughts, and just take control of your mind, and just be a better person. Okay. So you're not free. You're not no superior to from anyone. Okay. Like just get this idea, right? Like fuck USA, fuck these people.